What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another YouTube video. We are at 291 subscribers. Thank you so much for all that you do, because I'm trying to get to 300 by the end of probably next week and 1,000 by the end of next year. So make sure to subscribe down below to help me out. Also like the video and comment down below. Any nice comments you want to say hi, I'll respond. So without further ado, let's get right into today's topic. It is Chevy making a brand new motor, and it competes with the Hellephant crate engine that Mopar released. That engine has 1,000 horsepower, and Chevy decided to go one step above and bring the 10-liter crate motor that produces 1,004 horsepower right out of the box. When Mopar kind of released the Hellephant motor, they're like, oh, it's 1,000 horsepower. And that's a lot, considering that, you know, most vehicles, including the Hellcat, which is very good, has only 700 horsepower. Now, when you move up to figures like 1,000 horsepower, you're getting a lot of performance. And these engines are only for racing. They're not meant to be put on the streets. So let's get into the specifics of this. So this is the newest big block crate motor from GM, specifically Chevy, and it makes 1,004 horsepower and 876 pound-feet of torque. So that's a lot. I mean, I'm excited to see how this engine will actually perform. I haven't had the chance to see the Hellephant perform, but we'll have to see, you know, what 1,000 horsepower does from Chevy, because I'm really excited for this engine, and I'm excited to see who actually will put it into their cars. Those figures are on pump gas, so like 87, and that's surprising to see that it's, you know, stock, everything right out of the box with regular gas, 1,004 horsepower, 876 pound-feet of torque. Does not have a supercharger or a turbo, and it's just dependent on its displacement alone. So considering that it's making that much with nothing added to it, like a supercharger or turbos, that's pretty insane. The engine is actually called ZZ632-1000. So long name, but it's a very good engine. Apparently it even shames the Dodge Viper and the Bugatti Chiron. I'm really excited to see how this will actually perform, because if it's saying it's outbeating Bugatti and the Dodge Viper, like that's a pretty big deal, considering that Bugatti is like a multi-million-dollar hypercar and the Dodge Viper is a pretty expensive sports car. It's pretty insane that just this engine can compete with something like that. What I find interesting is that Chevy actually did 200 simulated drag racing tests. And if you know drag racing, it puts a lot of stress on the engine. And they did this on a dyno, and none of them came out of failure. And the engine pretty much took no beating with the 200 simulated drag racing. Obviously, it's a newer engine, so 200 might not do much, but it's just a lot of drag racing, a lot of power, a lot of, you know, stress on the engine that 200 would do normally. And to see that this didn't even phase the engine at all could be a good sign. So with this being said, that it has nothing to it, like no supercharger or no turbos, I'm sure people will grab this engine and try to slam something on there like a supercharger or turbos just to, you know, make it over 1,004 horsepower. And I'm excited to see who actually does that. But as far as when this engine will go for sale, it's early 2022. So in a couple months, we will have access to this engine. And considering that on the website, the 621 horsepower ZZ572-620 is going for around $16,300. I would expect probably a $20,000 motor. You're jumping from 621 horsepower to 1,000 horsepower, and it'll probably be north of 20,000. But this engine is capable of a lot of things, and I'm excited to see like actually who builds this motor, who puts it in what, and how it will impact racing. Whether or not people will choose the Hellephant or this Chevy new motor. But we'll have to see what happens. But I'm just really excited. I wanted to tell you guys this, that this new motor is 1,004 horsepower, and it's just insane. So yeah, make sure to subscribe down below. Helps me out a ton. I'm trying to get to 300 by the end of next week and 1,000 by the end of next year, so I can start getting monetized, get better equipment to really bring this YouTube channel to life. Also, make sure to like today's video as it helps me get it out to new viewers. And also make sure to comment down below what you think of this engine, or just maybe shoot a hi down in the comments. I'll respond. I respond to every single comment because I'm just such a good guy.